All right, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Base Mother Show. I'm Elena Barbera, and I have a special guest tonight. This is my mother, the base grandmother, Marianne. You can call her Marianne. And we're here tonight, locked in Florida. We're on the East Coast, so we're on the safer side of Hurricane Milton tonight, but we are completely locked down, shutters on the windows, loaded up with supplies, and here we are. So I said to my mom, she's getting a little stir crazy. I said, "You want to go live?" And she said, "Sure." So here we are. What's up?
Nothing much. I'm stir crazy.
Yeah, she's going nuts. We've been on and off watching the news all day, and every time we turn on the news, it changes, and we have this like, oh, it's a cat 5, it's a cat 4, it's a cat 5, it's a cat 4, it's a cat 3, and it's going to be the worst storm surges and the worst storm of all time. And I think coming on the heels of Hurricane Helene, it's been a little extra nerve-wracking for everybody here, right?
Very, very. Everybody's scared. We don't know what to do. We're doing what we're told, and hopefully for the best.
Not everybody's doing what they're told, though. Like
No,
some of
well,
the people in your neighborhood have been told to evacuate, and they're staying.
right. Well, I think they're crazy, but
I think they're stupid.
we're
I think they're
hunkered
crazy,
down.
but
Hopefully we're safe, and hopefully they will be safe also.
well, yeah. I mean, of course, that's what we hope for. But I mean, I don't understand these people that when they're told to evacuate, like just go, just go. And we invited some of them here. Like
Right.
we have a concrete block house, which is what you want in Florida if you ever move here. And right, I mean, it's a newer house, so it's built to code. And they said no because they want to keep an eye on their house. Like that, I don't understand. Like, what are you going to do? How many other people do you have to see drown in other hurricanes before you think
Right.
and still think that you're going to be the one that doesn't
Yeah.
drown?
I mean, I've been through it. The whole back of my house was blown away with Irma back in 17, I believe it was. But thank God I wasn't there. But I went back and found the damage, but I was okay. And a house you could always rebuild. Yourself, you can't. So just hope for the best for everybody.
Yeah. Mason here in the comments said, God will protect us. I sure hope so. That's what I've been asking for. And he also said, Mason also said, I will pray for you. Thank you, Mason. I really appreciate that because, like, we need that here in Florida. Not just prayers for our safety, but for our sanity.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrible experience. I mean, coming from up north in New York, we had some snow and snowstorms, but we never had hurricanes. We never lived through this. So,
Not typically, not until Sandy, which was a freak
right.
accident,
It was,
thing that was so
mm,
unusual.
right. But
Yeah.
aside from that, overall, we didn't endure this kind of weather. And the funny thing about it, we'll have it and it'll happen. And tomorrow we'll wake up and the sun will be shining and it'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
And we'll assess the damage. That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. Well, we got some good news though. Some nice things are coming out of it. And on the news today, let me show you this. I think you saw this. Donald Trump. I'm going to make this even bigger for you guys just for a second here. This is a room from the Trump Doral Hotel in Miami. It looks pretty nice with the beds in the back there. I think this is a 1-bedroom suite. And Donald Trump has set this up, given 275 linemen from Florida Power and Light free rooms at the hotel so that they can be on site, ready to go, ready to serve when the hurricane is over. What do you think?
And I think it's wonderful because I think most of these men are volunteering their free time.
Not in this case. This group is Florida Power and Light, specifically. So they're already here in Florida. They're linemen who work on this all the time. But I think so that is one group, but I'm sure there are others who come and volunteer, right?
That I've heard in the past come from other states. And what I've heard, that they volunteer their time to come and work. And I remember with Irma, I was down south a little bit and came back to my house, and that's all I saw on 95, I-95, trucks and from power companies all over the United States coming to volunteer their time. And it was amazing. And they got Florida back together again. And I guess this is what these men are going to do, and women are going to do again. And for Donald Trump to offer all of these rooms for free to these people so that they do have a place to stay, lay their head down after they work probably 12, 15 hours a day to fix these power lines for the people of Florida. It's
Once
well
again,
appreciated.
someplace pretty damn nice.
Yeah. I can't stay in that hotel, but they deserve it. I don't. I'm not working. They deserve every minute. And I hope, I don't know if they're going to have hotel service, but if they do, it's a little nice. And
I don't think they're going to be in the rooms a lot. I think they're going to, but I'm sure that they're going to have maid service. And I mean, he's going to want to, he's going to want to have his rooms kept up. He's not going to, and he's not going to tell his staff, you know, his housekeeping staff needs to still get paid and work. And, you know, so.
And hopefully these men will be comfortable on their little bit of time off.
And it's got to be hard on them because, you know, they're away from their families. So even if even the people who are getting paid, volunteers getting paid, the ones that travel from all over the place, and they do come from all over the country to help rebuild and serve and get people back online. But, you know, it's a lot on them. It's a lot on their wives, their kids, and it is mostly men. And I want to point out that it's mostly men because I'm sick of the feminists who are always ranting and raving about toxic masculinity and we don't need men. Damn straight you need men. Damn straight. And this is going to be another example where we got to remind them how badly they need men. It exhausts me.
Exactly. It's heavy work. And I couldn't do it. I mean, I may have the brain to look at the wires and say this wire goes here and there, but climbing those poles, and they're in the wind and the elements, and I think it's heavy work. And
it's not for everybody. If it was for everybody, more women would have done it throughout history. Women really don't want these jobs. No. Well, but they want to shit on men.
Some women want the jobs just to get the jobs.
But the exceptions still, even whatever the reason, the exceptions still don't make the rule.
No.
You know, they're exceptions.
Right.
Anyway.
So let's just wish them luck and hopefully they get the job done, and they will.
Somebody just said, are they staying at Mar-a-Lago? No, they're staying at the Miami Doral Trump Hotel. All right, then there's another little thing I want to show you here about Ron DeSantis. A clip from one of his press briefings about the hurricane. You want to see this? This is a touchy subject, I think, for you.
This is not going to be an opportunity for folks to take advantage of people. If you think you're going to go in and loot, you got another thing coming. You go into somebody's house after the storm passes, think that you're going to be able to commit crimes. You're going to get in really serious trouble. And quite frankly, you don't know what's behind that door in a Second Amendment state. So do not try to take advantage of people who are suffering because of the results of this storm. That goes for Helene continually, but then of course that will be the case for Milton. I know we've already brought a lot of people, held people accountable in post-Helene, and we will be very swift across all levels of government to throw the book at people. And of course, when you make these bad decisions, you're opening yourself up to response from property owners who may be inside that house.
What do you think?
I think he's 100% right. You're breaking into my house. I mean, I don't have a gun. I don't do that, but I could fight, and somebody's going to be in trouble if they try to break into my house.
They'd be in more trouble if you had a gun and protected yourself.
They would be. It would be. It just so happens I don't have a gun, but I have myself.
Well,
and I will protect myself as much as I can if something happens. Hopefully people will try to be nice and not do these things. But
Oh,
unfortunately,
come on.
people are people, and some people are going to try to get what they can and take advantage of what they can and who they can. I mean, I happen to live in an adult community, and people probably think that we're old, we're weak, and we can't protect ourselves. But we can. So don't come.
Well, I know a lot of your friends have guns,
They
and
do. They do.
you're protected by a
Mhm.
gun tonight. So if anybody were to come in, we're safe. And yeah, I'm glad that we have a governor that has the cojones to say to the crooks, like, hey, if you're gonna even think about it, one, we're gonna come for you and arrest you if the homeowner doesn't get you first,
Yeah.
and we're gonna and I know that I can, if somebody God forbid tried to break in here and take advantage of the fact that the first responders are busy otherwhere, I
Yes.
that I would be protected, my
Mhm.
Second Amendment rights and my right to defend you and my dog and myself and my house and my stuff.
Right.
That would be protected, and in a lot of places it's not.
I know.
Look at what they've done to New York, where
Oh,
people defend themselves. California, I mean, the right to self-defense has been diminished so badly. So I know you don't like guns, but the
no,
cops
I
can't get
don't
here
like
in
guns,
time.
but if someone is having it and you're breaking into my house or damaging or harm to me and my family, I'll take my gun out if I had one. I know I would, but I don't come from a generation where we thought about having guns. It wasn't something that was in our minds. And
Well,
no,
we
not
had
not
Daddy had a gun growing up in the house. Daddy had a gun. Yes, he did.
yeah.
He had a
I know he did, but it wasn't a registered gun. It wasn't a legal gun. He bought it.
shit.
You know, he had it. I don't know where he got it,
Okay,
but
but he
got
had
it.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, he's dead. You can't get him now, feds. Okay,
No,
so Daddy had an illegal unregistered gun. No, I think he registered it once and then it expired. Because I found
that
some
was a
sort of.
rifle. That was
Oh,
a
that was
rifle
a rifle.
he
Okay.
had in
So we
1966.
didn't have guns,
No.
but you started with we had no guns, and now where we
No.
had a handgun, but it wasn't legal, and we had a rifle.
No.
What else?
He went to Sears one day and bought a rifle in Brooklyn. He just liked it. He never used it. It was up in the attic or wherever it was. I don't even know if it's still up there. Could be.
All right. We're gonna go in the attic when we get back to that
Nope.
house. Okay. So there's the non-existent rifle and the non-existent gun. What somebody asked here though, if somebody broke into your house, what would you use? Wants to know if you would use a bat or something else to protect yourself. What do you got?
Well, I don't have it that handy, but on my counter is like every other kitchen in America, is those things with the knives. I probably pick up and
Just start
I
flinging
watch
knives.
a lot of television, and
You got a lot of ideas. I
lot
know
of
you well
ideas.
enough to know that you've got some ideas. Yeah.
a lot of ideas.
Okay.
Hey, to me, the film industry gave me all of these ideas.
What if I just got you like a BB gun type of rifle or something, or a small
No, I wouldn't use that because by the time I got, my fingers would be shaking a lot, and by the time I got to use it, this person is gonna overtake me. So I'd rather just.
But just the knives and you think
Oh.
that you're gonna have the wherewithal to accurately chuck a knife at somebody?
Yeah, because I'm good at punching and everything else like that. If
You are.
somebody
You're a fighter.
angry-
I've known you a long time.
Yeah, I'm good at that, but I'm old also, and I don't have the strength that I have. But you get that hidden strength when something happens.
Someone said that you could throw your walker at them.
I'll throw my cane and my walker at them, and they'll go running. Hey, I've used a cane.
Listen, I've run from you before. I got they won. You know what? She doesn't need guns. She's absolutely right. This woman does not. I know her very well. She does not.
I'm a
need,
tough old thing.
You do not need guns. Oh my goodness.
Let's hope that people use their senses, or if those bad people had in mind that they're going to loot afterwards, they're the ones that got hurt in the storm and they can't come out. God will take care of them.
Well, I hope so. Well, if he doesn't take care of him now, later he'll take care of him one way or another. It's God's time. God takes his time sometimes.
Yep. Slow but sure. That's what my mother used to say. God is slow but sure. He'll get them.
She was another one. Oh my, she's another one that didn't need guns.
Hey, we're from Brooklyn. We're Irish and Italian. We didn't need anything. Just ourselves.
But we had them just in case.
Just ourselves, our personality.
What about Papa? Papa have guns?
No.
All right, my grandfather, just so you know, he was a longshoreman and he was a bookie.
When he was
and you're
young,
telling me he didn't have guns.
Never. He wasn't a tough guy. Like, he was streetwise, but he wasn't a tough guy that he needed a gun.
All right.
I never saw my father fight with people or get irritated. I mean, like that, in that way, to want to kill them. I guess he just punched them and that would be enough, if anything. But I never saw my father do anything like that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
This must be one of your daughters in the comments here. Somebody said throw the stereo cover.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
I've done that.
She's
More than that, but that's really in a bad temper.
Yeah, that's not your normal day, and you were young. You were younger, and I'm sure whoever you threw it at had it coming.
Of course, she was a 14-year-old. She had it coming, like any other teenager, mostly.
I don't know if I can tell. I don't know if I should tell that story on the internet, but yeah, and it wasn't me. It was my sister.
No, it wasn't you.
It was my sister.
But she deserved it.
I hope she's not watching. That's not the one who's watching. I think she's got something else
if she
to
said
do.
that, I think that's the one.
No, I think that's no.
Number two.
Number two. That's number two. Number three is not here. I'm daughter number 4, by the way. She's got a lot of daughters, no sons. How many grandsons? 3? 3 grandsons and a great grandson.
Yeah. 3 grandsons, a great grandson, and a granddaughter.
And a granddaughter, but yeah, I was just talking about the boys. Yeah,
but I had no boys.
Yeah, no boys. My father, 4 girls. No wonder he died young. We drove him crazy. We drove him right into the grave, the poor guy.
Get out of here. You don't belong.
Oh, he left. He left. He was like, I'm going to sleep. Bye. Oh, all right. So let me show you. I want to talk to you. I got a couple things to show you. This week Kamala Harris did They Call Her Daddy podcast.
Yeah.
So I found just like a random clip from the Call Her Daddy podcast that I want to show you just to give you an idea of what it's like and what the conversations are like. And this is not the most vulgar by any stretch of the imagination because, I'm trying to not completely pollute you tonight.
I can handle it.
I know you can, but you know what? I have feelings about showing you certain things.
Well,
so there's 2 of us here.
I'm too old to.
I could have found all the stuff about blowjobs and slut camp, but I kind of felt like that wasn't appropriate for us to talk about together.
Okay.
So I'll show you this little sample with, who Post Malone is?
Yes.
Yeah. That
I do.
freak. I don't know. He might be a nice guy. I don't know, but I can't even look at him. All right, here.
He was nice when I've seen him on a talk show or something. He acted okay.
All right. Well, this girl,
this
girl runs the Call Her Daddy podcast. It's like the biggest women's podcast. This is what young girls talk about in public these days. Here we go.
Joined the Mile High Club.
Not all the way.
Huh. Like a little finger bang or like you couldn't come?
Oh, no. Definitely bust.
Okay.
Is that fine to say?
This is Call Her Daddy. We talk a lot about sex here. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely bust, but no like coitus.
Okay.
Not full coitus.
Okay. That's good. Thank you for the. This is good.
And here's the whole deal.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll tell you why. I know it's supposed to be rapid fire, but I feel like the moment you get up on an airplane and go to the bathroom or like move around at all, that's when the turbulence starts. Because I'll see somebody get up and I know they have the poop walk. So I can tell they're gonna be back there, and I'm like, get back in your seat. It's so bumpy right now. I know this is your fault. Am I the only one that feels that way?
No. I agree with you, and I understand that. Have you ever had the poop walk on the plane?
I have never shit on an airplane.
I have never either.
It's a classy conversation. So,
I think they need another life if this is what they're thinking about and talking about. I mean,
she makes a lot of money talking about this.
I know she does, which is idiotic. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, she probably went to college. She probably has an education, and this is how she makes some money.
What do you think about the Mile High Club?
It's stupid.
You know what that is?
Yes, I do know what it is.
How do you know what that is?
I know a lot of. I'm going to be 85 years old. What do you think? I read the Bible my whole life.
No, I know you didn't read the Bible. I know that. I know you well enough to know that wasn't happening. Oh, God.
But I have good morals, and I have a hard time believing that people are actually doing these things and thinking these things, because I do not think that way.
Right. They are doing them. They are thinking them.
I
And they
know
are
they
talking about them in
Yeah.
public, and then talking about whether or not they've ever pooped on a plane. Like, this is the basest conversation that, like, so lowbrow and classless.
I mean, who cares if you did or not, or whatever you did? I just came back from a long ride from Europe the other day. You know that.
Did you poop on the plane?
No, I did not. I did. But if I had to, I probably would have. Okay. I'm old. Old people don't care.
But you can't wait on a 9-hour flight.
No. Well, I mean, it's nature. But it doesn't have to be discussed. It's private. It's personal. How many times you poop or pee or do anything else? Who cares?
Our society has gone in the gutter. So, so this brings me to my next point is like, or my next question, like, how did we get to where a presidential candidate feels comfortable or thinks that it's a good idea to go on a podcast that talks about things like this on the regular?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, she's just bringing the office of the president and vice president, which I highly respect. I don't care who's in there. I respect that office. And for a vice president and a presidential candidate to talk about how many times you poop on a plane or anything else like that. I mean, what are we? There's no dignity. There's nothing left in the White House if we have to talk about these things. You just don't. I mean,
I know. It's disgusting. I don't want to talk about it when anybody.
Going to the bathroom is a natural thing, but it's a personal, private thing. I mean, it's just like disgusting.
There's nothing private anymore. You see the commercials where they talk about like body odor and armpit hair and periods. And remember what, I don't know if it was this Super Bowl or the last Super Bowl where they had a menopause commercial. Right. Like, come on. I mean, why?
But it's all about, and the bottom line is money. Because they think if they could talk about these things, now you're going to go to the store and buy this and buy that and buy this. And when you've always bought one thing and we've always survived, and we should buy different things. And you could have a commercial, but do it with dignity. We don't have to
I can talk about that with my doctor. I don't need to talk about it at the Super Bowl party.
We don't have to be graphic and so open about these commercials, the subjects. I mean, we have a brain. You get the idea. You know what sanitary pad to use or tampon to use. You don't have to be shown. Boys don't know, but they know.
Men can get their periods in 2024.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen. So you know that. Give me a break. This is crazy. Just get back to reality and who we are and what we really are, and not what we want to be. And
I don't know why they want to be that. Like, why do we want to be a bunch of freaks?
Why? I mean, we are who we are. and we can't help who we are, but you don't have to make yourself look ridiculous and just
But they've changed the bar on what
they
ridiculous is.
changed the
That's the
bar.
thing.
You're right, they did, but maybe the bar has to be changed again.
Oh, it absolutely does, and that's
And
why
we
we're
can-
trying to. That's what
We
people
can
like
go
us are trying to
backwards.
do.
Yeah, we can go backwards a little bit. We don't have to completely go forward the way that these candidates is talking about. I mean, it's not necessary. Just you want to be president, you want to be somebody, campaign for yourself and campaign nicely, and I think you'll get more votes. You want to be an idiot, you're not gonna get them.
Well, no, but
except from other idiots.
right, but there are so many idiots now.
There
That's
are.
the problem, because the education system is broken. So we've
Oh.
bred and trained
Mhm.
morons, and that is what's
Yeah.
going to happen here. Let's. I'm glad you brought up idiots. Let's look at Kamala's. This clip from Kamala's "Call Her Daddy" interview is the one that most people are talking about the most that I've seen.
This question more to you and the daddy gang, but one of the biggest conversations in this year's election revolves around a woman's body.
Yep.
I want to take a moment and can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision
I know what you're going to ask.
about a man's body? Let's
No.
just pause.
No.
Is there any law?
No. No. It's
No.
No, because even these two nitwits putting their heads together
Mhm.
couldn't come up with
With a logical
with a
answer.
logical answer about how men are subject to laws
Mhm.
and that affect their body. The one big one that most people are talking about are the draft. So yeah, you can be drafted into war. You have to sign up for selective service. It's the law, even though the draft hasn't been, that lever hasn't
They
been
don't
pulled
use
in a
it
while,
anymore,
but
yeah.
it can be, and it has been on millions of young men.
Do they still have to sign up at
Yes.
18? I mean, I don't even know anymore.
Yes,
They
you
have
do.
to sign
You
up.
do.
And they should. And I think, well, I just feel everyone should sign up or be drafted. I believed in it. And in some countries, women have to be. And if that's the case, let it be. But
But don't say that men aren't subject to
No.
things that where they have no autonomy over their
No.
body.
no, they don't.
I mean, that's something that can cause mental, physical harm to the point of
It
death.
does. Yeah.
To the point of death, like but in the millions.
Yeah.
I mean, these broads are just so dumb and bent on abortion to the point
Yeah.
where it's disturbing.
It is. But also, it all goes back also to respect for yourself, for somebody else. And from what I've known my whole life, most of the boys, guys, whatever we call them at the time, going into the service, I think they're the people that have more respect for their country. Some come out, they don't, because they feel they're not treated right, and sometimes they're not. But I think if you go in, not even in a wartime, but you're still working for your country and finding out what can happen in case of war, you
Yeah.
respect your country a little more. And hopefully they do bring some kind of a draft back, because I don't like listening to
No, it's
people.
really only for war. I don't think that.
No,
we need-
draft wasn't for war. Everybody got drafted, whether there was wartime or not.
I don't know if you're right about that.
Yeah.
I
Your
thought
father got drafted.
That was during the Vietnam War, wasn't it?
No, no, before there was always a draft when I was young. Guys got drafted into, and they signed up too. Your father got drafted, but actually twice. And one time when he had to go, he had fallen. He was a butcher at the time, and he was carrying a cow or something on it, and it fell, and he fell off a truck and fractured his knee, so they didn't take him. And then the next time he was drafted, I was pregnant, and they didn't take him, because back then, if I guess if your wife was pregnant, they
There were certain things that you
they
could get out
kept
of
you
it.
home, right? And he didn't go then.
I know, but Ma, why would they use a draft when they didn't in peacetime? Like I've
Well, they
I have
still
never
needed.
in my life heard that.
Oh yes, they still needed a military. God forbid, in
I know,
case
but
of
we
some-
had one. Like
we had a better military. We had more people in the military.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
years
I don't
ago.
know. I'm disagreeing with you. I don't think
Mm.
it's right. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah. No, all my guys, when I was young, got drafted, and there was no war at that time. I mean, I was 5 years old, I think, when World War II ended, and then when I was 10, the Korean War started in 1950. I think it was. I actually think it started on June 25th, 1950, because it's my birthday. And that's how I remember that the Korean War, I believe, started. And that lasted, a couple of years. And then there was no war until Vietnam in the 60s. And boys were getting drafted. But they came out with, some of them came out with a lot smarter because
Wait,
they learned something.
Listen, the comments are on your side. The comments are on your side.
Are they?
She's right. Until 1973, there was a general draft. Wow.
Yeah. See,
I apologize,
I
Mother.
don't have dementia. I know. I remember.
I didn't say you had dementia. I said you were wrong.
That's stupid.
And I didn't say you were stupid. I said you were wrong.
Oh,
it's two different things.
it's-
You can be
it's all the
wrong
same. Like, I
and
don't
not
know
be.
what
You
I'm
can be
talking
smart and wrong
Yeah.
sometimes.
No, not me.
But you were right. Not except for you. I mean other people. Other people can be wrong, not you.
That's right.
Listen, I'm gonna kick Stockmaster Jay out.
What did they say?
To put me in a timeout.
No, I don't go in timeout. You know, I never put you in timeout.
No, timeout was for sissy mothers. We just got.
I just pulled your hair and said, "Do what I want to."
Yeah. Gentle parenting did not exist back then, and if it did, it wasn't in our house.
That's right.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Kamala's really gone and embarrassed herself, and so yeah, the men. These women have never been subject to the draft, and there are actually people in Congress trying to push that through and make women subject to the draft. And I don't know anymore. Like right now, our military has gone so woke and it's gone soft. And I talk to people in the military who are older who have told me this, like from the inside, that they cannot believe what they see and how soft these kids are and how they're handled with kid gloves. And if you say something wrong to them or you insult them or push them too hard, they melt down and they break down, and they're all getting out on mental health nonsense just because they don't like it. They say they're depressed and then they're excused from their service. I mean, we're so weak.
And these, I'll call them wimps. Even boys, when I was young, when they were 17, 18, whatever, they were wimps, a lot of them. And they went into the service for the 2 years of being drafted, and they came out with the knowledge of a craft, respect, and some of them didn't know what they were going to do, and they came out and they became a carpenter or an electrician or
to have a mechanic or something, a medic.
They learned something in the service. The service wasn't just going in and shoot them, learn how to shoot a gun and
that's
whatever.
Still true today.
It's true, but they learned other things. They learned other crafts, and they came out and they says, "Oh, I'm going to do this or that, whatever I learned," and it helped.
It did, but more than that, it helped to build character and strength. And it's not the character and strength part. They're melting down before they even can get to that because no one has ever challenged these kids. We're talking about a generation of kids that no one has ever told them no.
No, they were enabled. Yeah,
no one has every little thing in their life has been. How do you feel about that?
Right.
What do you think? We grew up. It wasn't like occasionally someone said, "What do you think?" And we were like, "I can ship."
Not in my house.
We didn't even.
Not in my house.
No, outside.
It was what I said.
Other people.
No, there were young guys that were, not tough or not. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And everybody would, most of they went to maybe be a longshoreman, which was a hard job, if you can get into that job, or they worked for their father, or they were carpenters. They all learned, but they needed the discipline back then too, because 17-year-olds
But
and
they
18,
gave the discipline back then. Now
They had it at home.
Now, but they
Right.
had it at home then and in the military. Now they don't have it at home, so they get to the military, they can't handle it. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. So we
Yeah.
have the weakest fighting force we have ever had, and on top of it, they've taught these kids in school to hate America, so they don't even want to fight for it.
Right.
They don't care. Like, we're doomed if we have more years of what's been going on.
Yes, but it starts with the parents at home, because if you raise a strong kid, and there's always weaklings in between, they're going to be a strong kid, and they're not going to listen to half of the garbage. I sent my kid to school right now, and they said, "Yeah, you're not my mother, you're my birthing person," or you're them and they or she or whatever the hell they're saying. I don't know what. No, I'm your mother,
Oh,
and you're
I
going to
should
do
have
what I said.
introduced you as my birthing person.
Yeah, I'm your birthing person. You would have got a smack across the face. That's what you would have got. I'm your mother. And until the day I die, I'm your mother. And this is the respect that people have to have. They don't, and you're my daughter, and I respect you as an adult. But before you were 18, you did what I said. Most of the time that I don't know of. You didn't, but you did the right thing for the most, I think, anyway.
Me? Did I? Mostly.
Yeah, I think so.
Sometimes I said I was sleeping at Samantha's house and we went into the city and went dancing all night.
Right, but you were older already. I mean, I'm young kids and everything. You did what I said, and I think most kids back then did. But today they go to school and they're taught that's not your mother; it's your birthing person. What the hell's the difference? So you don't have to respect her. That's how I feel about the education today.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one among hundreds of sick, twisted children's books. One of them, I think, is called "In My Daddy's Belly."
Well,
it's a cartoon of a woman pregnant with a beard, and this is supposed to be and they're trying to make this normal.
Right. Well, I don't know if you remember this. Oh my God, I'm trying to think of the full story. There was, I guess, a girl that wanted to be a guy. And this is going back maybe 30, 40 years ago. And all of a sudden, this guy was pregnant. And there was a big thing. He's pregnant. Now he's a guy. It's a woman. You could say whoever you want to be. That was a woman who was pregnant, not a guy. And they showed it on television, this guy that was pregnant. But it wasn't a guy, it was a girl. And you could be who you want to be, but don't tell me the guy was pregnant.
I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but it's similarly related. Do you remember last year during Pride Week? I think it was Pride celebration of some sort, when the tranny with the fake boobs went topless on the White House lawn.
I probably.
So they had a Pride celebration and they invited this tranny, and he took off his top with his fake boobs and he was like, "We're topless on the White House lawn," and dancing around, and so that is a guy who goes by Rose Montoya. He thinks he's a woman, and he was accused earlier this year of raping a girl who thinks she's a guy. So the guy who thinks he's a girl raped the girl who thinks
she's a guy.
She's a guy. And like the mental gymnastics you have to do to do that. I mean, and he wrote her a letter and said, "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I forgot what it was. It was just like this.
It's a guy raping a girl.
It's a guy raping a girl.
It's a guy raping a girl.
And they're all just so crazy.
Say.
Yeah.
I mean, and unfortunately, you can't help who you become. I mean, you in your body, you are who you are, and that's fine. Be who you want to be, but I don't have to see it all the time and have it jammed down my throat and try to brainwash me to think that this guy who thinks he's a girl rapes a girl who thinks he's a guy. I mean, I don't have to know this. And if the media would stop putting this type of stuff out.
It's not just the media, but our politicians are saying this is okay and normal, and you should accept it. And if you don't, you know what you are?
No.
Birthing person?
Yeah.
You're a bigot.
I'm a bigot. Well, then I guess I'm a bigot because I respect anybody for who they are, but
I don't.
I do. I mean,
I used to say things like that, and now I've seen who people are. Now we've got the people trying to normalize pedophilia. You're going to tell me you respect those people?
No.
Yeah.
Not the sickies. They're sick in the head, those people. But normal, everyday people. I mean, there are normal, everyday, or am I allowed to say lesbian, or there's something else now, or gay guys, whatever they are. They're normal, everyday working people. And we know a lot of people.
Yeah, we're close
that
with
are gay. We're very close to them.
With.
I was just on a trip to Italy with a whole bunch of gay people. And they're average, everyday working people. But whether it's the politicians or these activists that are corrupting everybody.
Can I show you? I was going to save this for last, but this is a clip of something else that's going around in this world of LGBTQIA+. This group of people has attached themselves to that now. Let me just show you, and then we can talk about it.
And so I had my really long drive today, and oh my gosh, I wore this diaper for 6 hours, and I maybe might have had an accident or two, but I am feeling really great, and I am not sore or anything, and so I think I am officially back in diapers. So had a really wonderful healing time in New York, and life is good. I'm feeling a lot of love. So lots of love, friends. Love you. Bye.
Is that a girl or a guy?
I don't know. Either a very skinny guy.
So she's wearing diapers, Pampers.
On purpose,
peed in her pants all day long, sat for 9 hours, and didn't have a rash.
And is excited and wants the internet to know.
She's full of crap. You're not going to sit in your own pee for 9 hours and not be irritated or not get a rash.
I thought it was only 6 hours, but I think 6 would be the same, right?
Same thing. I mean, and not.
But so there's a lot of these videos coming out with people grown. And I'm talking 30s, 40s, even 50s and older, dressed as babies, and they put themselves in playpens. Like they would take this room that we're in and make it all pink and blue and have baby toys and have a crib. Then there's the diaper fetish people, and this is all like erotic for them, where they get off on it, acting like babies and children. So we have let the absolute bottom of the barrel Looney Tunes become mainstream,
right?
Or they're trying to become mainstream.
They're not. There used to be a place up in New York called Pilgrim State Hospital. That's where they belong.
I'm still there.
And I know everybody who lived up in New York knows where it is. It's on Long Island.
It rings a bell.
On Long Island, and that's where they put people like that. Unfortunately, they probably weren't treated nice in these places.
I'm all for treating the crazies nice.
Bring back mental hospitals,
but they need to go back into their cage, like into the controlled environment.
Right. Talk about mental health, and whatever. Take care of it. Build more instead of jails. Build mental hospitals.
I bet a lot of these people would straighten out too. They'd be like, you know what? I'm over the diaper fetish. Let me have my life back. And I'm going to go out and be normal. And I'm going to wear my diapers at home alone where no one can see me.
Absolutely. That's how things used to be.
Straighten these people out.
Behind closed doors, what happens. But again, instead of building more jails, because we have so many prisoners, build mental hospitals and help these people. And maybe they'll come out.
But we need like criminal mental hospitals and just regular mental hospitals.
Well, there always was.
Right.
Criminals were put in a separate, they used to call them wards.
Yeah.
ward, if that's the right word. I think criminals were kept separate from the actually sick people. And it was sick. Go back to that and you'll see a lot less crime, I think, on the street, and a lot less just craziness
Yeah.
on the streets.
Yeah. We gotta do something. I'm all for opening up the Pilgrims. What is it called? Pilgrim Hospital?
It was Pilgrim State Hospital.
Pilgrim State Hospital.
And then I think, well, I come from New York and Brooklyn. I think in Kings County there was a mental a place, and people were in them and they were helped. I know people.
I don't know if they were helped. Can't say, but I can say that society was helped by those people being pulled out of it and put
They
aside.
certainly were.
Like
They certainly
it
were.
helped the rest of us.
Even just their own families. If somebody had a real problem, mental or whatever, and they went to in the hospital, and they came out and they were helped because they needed help. And of course, a lot of them on whatever the pill is, medication. They used to call things senility, and now it's bipolar or something else, but it's all the same. No matter what name they put to this, it's the same. It's an illness, and people need help.
I know.
Don't put them on television in diapers. It's bad enough when you get old and into a hospital, you're in diapers when you're sick and you're old, but not.
No, you got to be a
legitimate sick if you're sick. But now, if these people, middle-aged, young middle-aged, whatever they are, they want to wear diapers, so they're helping the Pampers people get rich. That's all they're doing.
I'm here.
Yeah, it's insanity. Well,
and then there were the men breastfeeding.
Yeah, it's just insane. These things are not realistic in real life. But again, these people that are doing these things are not your everyday average people.
They will tell you that they are, and everybody's doing this. Like everybody's wearing diapers and sitting on the couch and watching Netflix and shit in their own pants. Like they're telling you that that's normal, and you have to accept it. And we know it's not.
And if you're weak,
I'm sick of it.
If you have a weak mind, you're going to believe it. But I mean, when I was 20 years old, when I looked good and everything, I think I was going to walk around in diapers in my living room. It'll never happen. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
I see you and Daddy in your diapers.
You're sitting in diapers watching television. I mean, it's insane. It's so. Why do they want this image? Why are they even thinking of it?
Because they've been told that they're loved and they should be who they are, and it's okay to be who you are, and it is not always okay to be who you are if you're a murderer. It's
okay, honey. I'll see you in the hospital next year.
Yeah,
you'll
come see you on the holidays, you psycho.
Take another pill. Do this, do that, and I'm not making fun of them, but this is what it comes to.
You know what? Okay, yes, there's mental illness and that needs to be treated, but I think some of them aren't fully on the crazy side, and they enjoy the camaraderie. So they're just like the outcasts of society, and they're like, oh, there's a group that'll take me, the diaper fetish pals. And so they join in. Those people could probably be pulled back to normalcy with just a little making fun of them, just enough shame. Sometimes you need someone, not in a cruel way, but to remind you that you're acting like an absolute moron and a freak, and you're going to just make yourself more of a loner and a lunatic, and you need to come back to the light, come into the light, because you're on the dark side. A little bit of shame goes a long way sometimes. And so when you say you're not making fun of them, I'm like, yeah, maybe that's what they need. Maybe just a tad, a little bit less sensitivity to their feelings. I don't care how you feel about your diaper.
Yeah. I mean, years ago, and I'm sure with you growing up, there's always that one girl, one guy, I mean, I won't name anybody, but in the group that
Please
always wants.
don't.
No, I won't name. Always wants to be your friend, and oh, that's my best friend, and this, and they act goofy and stupid and whatever, and it's like, get out of it, get away from me, act right,
Yeah.
act like a person. I mean, we're all different people, but I've seen it in my lifetime. I'm sure you have. There's always that one person that's acts weird and stupid and whatever, and you want to smack them and tell them, act right, get away from me.
Oh, speaking of people I want to smack, let's watch one more quick thing and then let's wrap it up, because I'm starting to hear the wind blow outside. And we have all the shutters on the house, so we're pretty well insulated here. I don't know how much we're going to hear. When the rain was coming down earlier today, I could hear it on the aluminum shutters, but it's been pretty quiet. And I do have to go out in the storm before it gets too bad and walk the dog one more time.
Good. But you have to do it.
Yeah, I've been out like 5 times today. Every time there's like a break, I run out, and every time I've come in, I'm just soaking wet. Like I have to like change my pants, and the dog is soaking wet, but it's okay. It's fine. But I have to get him out one more time because I don't know when this is going to end tomorrow, if it's going to be morning or afternoon. And so he's going to have to hold it in.
You're getting out a little bit. I have cabin fever.
Well, not anymore. Now you just talk to the internet. Do you feel better?
I feel a lot better.
Are you being sarcastic?
No.
God.
No, I'm not sarcastic.
No, yeah, you know what? You're not. You're like actually brutally direct. Yeah, you don't waste time with sarcasm.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you're not terribly sarcastic. But I wanted to check just in case you were trying a new thing.
No. I'm too old for new things.
No. All right, let's look at this one more clip, because this is a show that I know you watch. We talked about this morning, and I don't know how you I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, but here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, if anything,
oh yeah,
would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
There is not a thing that comes to mind should be her answer for everything, because she's an absolute just windbag.
Yeah, but if she said I've been a part of most of everything, then she should be ashamed of herself,
right,
for being a part of everything. I mean, I still can't figure the price of food and eggs and milk and bread, and I mean, how could she say I can't think of anything? I mean, she doesn't have to buy her own milk and bread, so it doesn't matter. And she's getting a hefty paycheck.
She's got a $62,000 necklace that she walks around in. That $700 belt she walks around in. I mean, what?
And you're talking to the common people, senior citizens only on Social Security, who cannot shop anymore, or if they shop, they have to. Say you used to buying one brand of something, now you have to buy the store brand because it's $1 cheaper.
Yeah.
This is what we've been brought to. And our quality
of life
has changed, and I can't. I mean, gas will go up and down.
About mortgages.
Mortgage rates. Young people cannot buy a house because of the mortgage rate. And
didn't your insurance just go up on the Jersey house?
On both houses. On the house I have in Florida, my insurance increased by $1,000, the premium. And I have a house in New Jersey, it was increased by, I think it was $900. I didn't put a claim in up there. I put a claim in Florida for the hurricane, but I'm paying a lot of insurance for a little house. And where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, the Social Security certainly, and I don't want Social Security. It wasn't meant to absolutely support us, but it's not even doing the supplement
that it used to.
It used to help people.
It's been eaten up by inflation.
It's been eaten up terribly. And How could she say nothing comes to mind?
Nothing. You know what? I'm waiting for one gutsy. I would love to interview her. God, they would never let me near her. And I'm not a journalist, first of all, and it's clear that I hate her. But so they would never let me near her. But if I could, I would ask her, what about Jocelyn Nungray? I'm obsessed with Jocelyn Nungray and the other people who have been raped, murdered, robbed by illegal immigrants that Kamala let into this country. Jocelyn Nungray, if you don't know, is the 12-year-old girl from Houston, was kidnapped by 2 Venezuelan illegals, and she was beaten, raped, and ultimately, after 2 hours, strangled to death, and then they dumped her body in a ravine. A 12-year-old little girl. Can you even fathom, as a mother, when you're looking for your kid, you're not imagining that that's what's going on, and that's what that kid went through, and she lost her life. And no, not one of these journalists has had the guts to look at Kamala and say, tell me about Jocelyn Nungray.
Oh, yeah.
Justify that, Kamala. And so she wouldn't change that either. Nothing comes to mind. Not her, not Rachel Morin, not Scott Miller, not Travis Wolf, all of these people.
Nothing comes to mind. I mean, well, she was asked at the debate, one question, are people better off now than they were 4 years ago? And she couldn't answer that question. She wouldn't answer that question.
She won't answer any of it.
She won't answer any questions. Give me an answer. If
60 Minutes asked her, would you change anything about the immigration policy? I'm paraphrasing. And again, talking in circles.
No. I mean, come up with good answers for me and maybe I'll believe you.
Well, like Trump said at his rally today in Scranton, we had it on in the background.
Yeah.
He said when they asked her that question, that was her opportunity to set herself aside, set herself apart from the catastrophe of the last 4 years. He's like, all right. He said he thought for a second she was going to give an answer. He's like, all right, this should be good. And then she said that. He's like, Trump was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe she just took it all on her own shoulders.
Yeah.
I am actually convinced. Let me know what you think about this. Convinced that they are deliberately destroying her campaign by letting her do all these interviews right now.
That's a
possibility. I don't know what the end game is, though. I don't know, if they're gonna whack her and switch her out, or why, what? Because they're evil geniuses. What are they doing?
Yeah, because everything she keeps stepping further and further and further into the horse manure. Just goes further and further and further every time she gives an interview. And I don't know.
It has to be deliberate. It's so utter.
I think she should be smarter than that, than to answer these questions or not answer these questions. She should be able to give
something better than this. Something better than what she's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And something else they asked her, it was a simple yes or no answer, and she couldn't answer. She didn't, let me tell you this. I'll tell you. That's all she did. Good thing she has a good manicure, because you see her fingers all the time.
She has a good manicurist?
Yeah, because her fingers are always up like that. So you see her nails. You see her nails.
Wow, too bad. Her personality should be as good as her nails then.
Yeah, it's sad. It's a shame that we always had a Democrat, a Republican, and you were either a Democrat or a Republican, and you knew a little bit, and the average person doesn't know, or years ago did not know so much about the person, their personal life and whatever. But we listened to their politics and we voted that way. But this way, it's just a trashing game. And who do you believe? And she's not the one I believe. She's not the one I believe. I can't say
It's the trashing game is a part of the problem, but the real problem is the policies.
Right.
That's the real problem that's affecting our lives. Because if we were all if America was clean, beautiful, safe, we were all living in abundance, we all had true opportunity, we weren't getting taxed to death, we weren't about 1 foot in World War III, people getting attacked on the streets, I don't think we would care what names they called each other, because we'd be out building.
No.
busy, living, enjoying life. So I don't even care about the trash game that much. It would be nice to have dignity again,
Mhm.
but I just care about policy at this point. I don't care what mud they sling at each other. I just don't give a shit
Yeah.
anymore. We're getting down to brass tacks here and basics for Americans.
Well, hope all policies are not my way of thinking. I don't think that way, and I don't think they're helping us any, and I don't think it's going to be any better in the next 4 years. I don't know what's going to be better, but I don't think she's the answer.
No, it's not going to be. It's just it would just be more of the same. So the guy who was the architect of Bidenomics was a man named Gene Sperling, and she hired him on a month and a half ago. She hired him on as her economic advisor on the campaign. So it is literally, from an economic standpoint, exactly the same.
Yeah, she's trying to convince the people of her policy, economic or whatever, and I don't think it's working.
Oh, well. All right. We got to go.
Okay.
Well, this was fun.
It was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If we have power, maybe we'll come back tomorrow if we have a story. And although we should be like by tomorrow night, we should be over at your house checking out and making sure that everything is okay over there.
Yeah, if the storm's going to hit sometime tonight, and hopefully we'll be sleeping and we'll wake up. That's all.
Dark.
I mean, I think this is your first hurricane in Florida.
No, it's my first bigger one.
Yeah.
It's not my first hurricane here. My first hurricane in Florida was when I was 11 years old. You took us to
to Disney.
You took us to
and
Disney.
That was Hurricane Elena.
And it was Hurricane Elena.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was mild, but they closed the park.
Okay.
And
a tree fell in front of us.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember we were staying at the Contemporary Hotel, and which was like the coolest hotel at the time. And there were people sleeping in the hallways. All the people who were on the people who were on the Disney campgrounds, they brought them in, and they were all I remember we're walking through all these sleeping people to get into our hotel room.
It was I guess it was bad, but we lived in Brooklyn at the time, and we didn't know about hurricanes.
So that was my first Florida hurricane a long time ago.
But then living here, I've been through a few, and they're kind of scary. So you just have to do what you're told, listen to your governor, and hunker down and do the right thing. If you're told to evacuate, evacuate.
Well, it's too late now.
It's too late.
If you
now.
haven't evacuated now, stay put because you're going to die. If you evacuate, you
just hope
it's too late now.
Yeah.
Now everybody just stay where the hell you are and hold on tight.
Yeah. But like I said, I woke up to the whole back of my house being blown away.
Well, no, your whole screen didn't pour. Your whole lanai was gone. The back of your house still existed.
Well, that's the back of my house. And
the back wall of the house.
And it was scary, but I wasn't in it. I evacuated. When I went back, I found that. But I paid those insurance premiums, and they came across.
Yeah, they came and they fixed it up like it was nothing. Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you soon. If you are also in the storm, stay safe.
Be safe.
If you're not in the storm, please say a prayer for us. We appreciate it. And say goodbye.
Goodbye.
God bless you. God
Stay
bless.
safe.
God bless America.
Yes.
Bye, guys.